Regardless of the procedure used to inject new money into the system, you must very clearly understand that a few people are always the first to receive the new monetary units, and these people come out ahead at the expense of everyone else, because the new monetary units give them additional purchasing power with which to buy things at old prices. You must keep in mind that a process of income redistribution always results, a process which benefits some people and harms the majority, which remains hidden from most citizens, and hence is especially damaging, and which always distorts the structure of relative prices. To put it another way, when money is injected, the purchasing power of the monetary unit falls and prices rise. What I am saying is that prices do not rise proportionally and in unison. Instead, some rise much more than others, and this distorts the entire structure of relative prices and all allocation of real resources. Inflation, understood as an injection of new money into the system, is very popular, precisely because a few people invariably end up benefiting at the expense of the rest, who end up suffering. Therefore, those who stand to gain have an intense interest in seeing that money injected. If increasing the quantity of money were really so good for the economy, the answer would be quite simple. Do you know what the authorities should do? Issue a great decree stating, "Ladies and gentlemen, as of tomorrow, everyone's bank balance will be doubled. And as for the money we have in our pockets," they could then declare, "everyone is instructed to go to the Bank of Spain to receive as much again." Why do they not do it that way? Why do they not double everyone's cash balance? Because that would have practically no effect. We would still have the same shoes, the same suits, the same food, the same wealth. The only effect would be that the purchasing power of the monetary unit would fall by practically half, and prices would rise. We would be just as rich or just as poor as we are now. According to Hume, if every person in Great Britain awoke one morning to find his or her cash balance had doubled during the night, nothing would happen. The interest rate would not even change. The purchasing power of the monetary unit would simply drop by approximately half. Friedman followed the same reasoning when he spoke of what people referred to as a helicopter drop. He asked people to imagine a helicopter distributing money equally to all citizens. No, make no mistake. Do you think that would be a blessing? Nothing would happen. Practically the only impact would be that the purchasing power of the monetary unit would be reduced to a fraction, and proof that a helicopter drop would have almost no real effect lies in the fact that politicians do not do it. So why does everyone cry out for increases in the quantity of money? Because money is injected in a radically different way. And we will see how it happens. When people demand, "We want more money," what they are saying is the following. Please make 20 billion euros and give them to this man who is building the AVE train system. Please make 50 billion euros and give them to the miners of Honosa. Please have highways built and give the construction companies 100 billion euros. Please give students and universities 100 billion euros. That is how it happens. Notice that now the picture changes dramatically. No longer is the injected money distributed to everyone equally using the famous helicopter drop, which would have no effect. Instead, just 4 sectors, just a few, initially receive the recently printed money. Notice the position in which these people who are first to receive the money find themselves. They are in a privileged position because with their new purchasing power, they can buy goods and services at old prices, which still do not reflect the injection of new money, the new monetary relationship that has resulted from the injection. In other words, they come out ahead, unlike all others, who, though their cash balances have not changed, will be seeing the purchasing power of their monetary units gradually drop lower and lower. So these 4 get rich, and everyone else becomes poorer and poorer without realizing it. There is a process of real income or real wealth distribution, to the detriment of the vast, silent majority of society, and in favor of those who receive the monetary units first. That is why these few are so loud. They have a very strong, very intense interest in obtaining the subsidy or the loan, for instance, at the expense of everyone else. And they always disguise it as being the best for the common good, etc. So, you are the builder, and of course you must hire workers and a construction company. and buy iron. Therefore, in a second stage, you take half the bundle of bills and hire this man, this man, this man, and this man. You are almost as fortunate as he is, because you also receive new money, though not as much, and you can buy at old prices. Nevertheless, prices are not quite as low as when he received the money. They have gone up a little, because there has been more demand, and you are in the same situation, and you as well. So gradually the following effect appears. Real factors of production are drawn to the buildings of the AVE, to the building of highways, to mining, and to the building of universities that no one wants, or that are empty, or that students do not attend, or that have twice as many resources as they need. So inevitably there is a redistribution of income, with winners and losers, a poor allocation of resources, and a change in relative prices. The prices of the goods closest to those specific sectors which first receive the money increase more rapidly than prices of other goods. Now, little by little, stage after stage, as time passes, the money spreads out, and you continue. You pay the others, and you pay the others, and so on. Pay the others, pay those around you, little by little. 6 months pass, 6 more months pass, 6 more months pass. Then after a period of time of varying length, it might last months or even years, notice what happens. Once all of the injected money has spread throughout society, as months or years have passed, Hayek uses a charming analogy. He says we can visualize the monetary injection by imagining we are pouring honey onto a cold marble table. If you pour it very quickly, a little mound of honey forms. If you stop pouring, the mound flattens out little by little until the honey has spread out over the whole table. Injected money acts in a similar way. After 1, 2, or 6 months, or 3 years, the money has spread out and has reached everyone's pockets. It is true that in this 3-year process, some people come out ahead. El Posero, a Spanish builder who went from rags to riches, bought himself one hell of a yacht, for instance. Others, the rest of society, end up suffering. The structure of relative prices is distorted. However, I would like you to notice something very important. This man has taken a lot of manpower, cement, engineering resources, and steel to the mining industry. This man to the building sector. This man to the universities, and you to the film industry. What if, once the money has spread to the pockets of consumers, their desire to consume or their demand for films is not proportional to the amount of resources channeled into the industry because of the monetary impact? In other words, you have injected a huge amount of money. You have made many films, but what if people do not go to the theatre to see them? Or they do not take the AVE enough? Or they do not use the toll freeways, which are all empty? Or they do not attend the universities? What I want you to see is that the money has already caused a real distortion in the allocation of productive factors. It now becomes clear that those factors of production are poorly allocated to factories, projects and production processes which are not in demand. Society's scarce resources have been drawn to lines of production which consumers are not willing to maintain. And now that the money has spread to everyone's pockets, after a longer or a shorter period of time, this becomes evident. But the tragedy is that workers are already employed where they should not be, and entrepreneurial errors have already been made. And now a painful, long-term process begins in which it is necessary to adjust that real structure, which the monetary impact has distorted, to the true desires of consumers. And this process is precisely what the economic recession consists of. So, take note, monetary injections distort the real side of the economy and give rise to systematic errors that are very difficult and painful to correct. In this way, in today's class, I have very briefly presented an essential idea to you, the connection between the real side and the monetary side of the economy. And next quarter, we will delve much deeper. We will discuss the process by which money is injected using credit expansion, how interest rates are lowered, and in light of capital theory, how encouragement is given to investment projects which mature in a more distant future and which consumers do not desire. But I have presented the essential idea to you today, and I would like you to remember it always. This is what is called the driving force of money.